What is up, you guys? Good to see you live. I see Marin and Productive Dude, aka Carter the Goat. Give me one sec. Let me make sure that everything is coming through on the live. All right. So you'll have to bear with me. There's a bit of a lag between me talking and it hitting YouTube. So there we go. But I'm going to be monitoring the chat and doing that on my phone. So hopefully I'll be able to share with you the really dope system that I built. And hopefully it's going to help you guys to make some money. What's up, Nirvana's Garden? All right. So I don't know if you guys have any experience using Go High Level. Basically, it's a CRM that has automations and stuff built in. And I use it for my 9-to-5. One of the features is something called missed call text back. And basically the way it works is you can set it up for your account on the platform where if somebody, like a lead, contacts your business, like they call, it'll automatically send a text message back to them and say, oh, hey, sorry, I missed your call. How can I help you? Obviously, that's not the most powerful thing in the world, being that, number one, if the business owner is busy, it just sends a text. And now if that person responds, they're still busy. Like that, it's not very helpful. Also, a lot of customers, especially like the ones that I work with in my 9-to-5, they don't want to receive a text. You know, they want to talk to a human. Just like if you call the IRS or call your credit card company, you're sitting there yelling on the phone, representative, over and over, right? Because you want to talk to someone and not just be, you know, pressing buttons or texting. Thanks, Nirvana's Garden. I appreciate it. So basically what I came up with is something that I think is pretty dope. So I want you to put yourself and like drop it in the comments. Are you guys here because you're a business owner, or are you here because you're like a freelancer, consultant type of person, and you're looking to sell these systems to businesses to make money? Just let me know in the chat, because I want to kind of get a pulse on what you guys want to see and what's helpful for you. But what I built was a system where, imagine selling this to a business owner, or if you are a business owner, imagine implementing this in your own business. So all you have to do as the business owner is go into your phone settings, turn on call forwarding, which is literally just clicking 3 buttons, at least on iPhone. Carter says he's a business owner. So all the business owner has to do is turn on call forwarding to a number that I provide them, which is just a Twilio number. And then if they're in a meeting, or if they're at a sales appointment, or on a, you know, a Zoom call, or whatever the case is, if they're busy, that call is not going to get missed. It's not going to go to their voicemail. And now that person's like, great, you know, they didn't pick up the phone. I'm just going to call the next contractor on the list or the next business on the list. The call is going to direct them to receive like a voice message from the business owner. So they're calling and the voice is going to say, oh, hey, this is Chris. Sorry, I'm with another customer, but let me have my assistant call you right back. And guess who the assistant is? It's an AI voice agent. So it's pretty dope. And this AI assistant can book appointments, answer questions like frequently asked questions. You know, it can answer general customer service questions. It can pass messages on to the business owner, send SMS and email notifications to people, that kind of a thing. This is Kitten. So what I want to do is kind of show you. So Yorick says business owner, but if willing to work with other businesses, I like it. But what I want to do is kind of show you how it works. And then, you know what, if anybody is a business owner and this seems like something that'd be helpful for you, I actually am kind of looking for people to test it out in the real world before I kind of go live and start selling it to people. So if just watch the live, and if that's something that's of interest to you, then you can let me know either in the chat, or you can contact me via email afterwards. All right, but let's jump right in. So the first thing that you're going to need is a Twilio phone number. And give me one sec, y'all. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need is a Twilio phone number. So if you don't already have a Twilio account, you can set it up at twilio.com. I don't want to put my phone numbers on blast, but it's super easy to sign up for a phone number. In fact, I can point you to other videos that I've done that show you exactly how to do that, regardless of the country that you're in, through Twilio. So if you're interested in that, holler at me and I will point you to that video. But basically, all we're going to do in Twilio is get that number. So write it down, copy and paste it. We're going to remember that because we're going to be using that in our N8N workflows. And the other thing that we're going to need to do is set up a TWIML, which is basically like Twilio's version of XML or SSML, if you guys are familiar with either of those. But what we're going to do, so I'm going to come down here to Explore Products just from my console. And then I'm going to come to Developer Tools here on the left. And then I'm going to come to TWIML Bins. And so I already have this one set up. If you're setting up a new one, you would just hit this plus button. But I'm going to show you the one that I've built. And right now, just because I was in a hurry to kind of make this and I didn't have a chance to record an MP3, this sounds really robotic. So it just says it's a man's voice in English, and I'm having it speak with faster prosody, which is just like the pace and the kind of tone of how the voice speaks. But it just says, hey, I'm with a customer right now. I'll have my assistant call you right away. So that's all it says. And then you click down here to save. This can be altered to be an MP3 file. So if I wanted to host an MP3 file on Go High Level, I could just take that link from Go High Level, the URL, and I can incorporate it into my TWIML, and then it will play that MP3 as opposed to playing this kind of robotic sounding voice. So just wanted to explain that. And maybe Carter will be able to test this out for us. Or you know what? Maybe I'll. I don't want to give out my phone number on a live, but since Carter already has my phone number, maybe he can call it when we get to the end of this. So anyway, so now that we have configured this, we're going to click save, and then this is the URL that we want. This is our handler. But we're going to come back to this in just a sec. And now I want to show you what the flow in N8N looks like. So there are going to be two workflows. One is going to be the webhook that captures the inbound call. So this is the call from the leads. So they're calling the business owner to say, hey, I want an estimate, or hey, I want to hire you, or I need more information before I hire you, that type of thing. And like I said, I work at an insulation company here in California. And so literally if a customer can't get a hold of us, they'll just go down the list on Google reviews and say, okay, well, the top one didn't answer, so I'm going to go to the next one. The same is true of so many, especially home service businesses, but service businesses in general. Number one, people want to talk to someone. They don't want to just blindly make a decision about a service that they're purchasing. But specifically for home service, that tends to be the behavior that people will do. So they'll call like the top ranked plumber, the top ranked electrician. If they can't get a hold of them, they'll just go to the next person. So if you miss that call, if a business owner misses that call, that's literally, for us, the average ticket for us is $7,500. So if we miss a call and they go to our competitor, you know what I mean? Like that's like just pure revenue that we're missing. Anyway, and so the way that this works is we have this webhook and it's listening. It's mapped to my Twilio console. And so when calls come in on my Twilio number that I give to the business owner so that they can set up the call forwarding, it's going to come in here. And then it's going to play that TWIML message that says, hey, sorry, I'm with a customer right now. I'll have my assistant call you right back. And then that comes here to this HTTP request, which connects to our Vapi agent. And I'm going to show you that in just a second, because really that's kind of the magic sauce that makes the system so amazing because of all of the functionality and tools that the agent is able to use. And I don't want to open this because I don't want to give away my API key, but this I can, and I'll provide you the blueprint minus my API key if you're interested. But this is just a pure and simple outbound call going straight to Vapi. And all you need is the agent ID, the phone number ID, and then the phone number of the lead that just called, and you'll map that across dynamically. And I have another video that I can show you that shows you exactly how to do this. And then lastly, it's going to respond to the webhook so that Twilio knows, don't keep sending that, that JSON payload. We've already received it, because what the last thing we want is for a lead to get, 5 phone calls in a row because we didn't respond to the webhook from Twilio. So that is how the inbound call comes in. So it comes in from that Twilio webhook, generates the Vapi outbound call, and then responds back to Twilio, letting them know, hey, we received it. All right, let me check in with the chat. Looks like you guys are doing good. All right, so then the call happens, and I want to take you over to my Vapi dashboard and introduce you to Brenda, which I'm actually going to rename her Reagan. That's my niece's name, and she was the one helping call me to test out my agent when I was testing it. So I told her I would name it in her honor. But I have a bunch of different videos on how to build an inbound and I think outbound AI voice agent. I think the outbound voice agent video is coming out on Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. So definitely subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and you'll be able to catch that as soon as it comes out. But a couple things that I want to point out. Number one, the assistant needs to wait for the user. So these are kind of the options for who speaks first. And we want the assistant to wait for the user or the person answering the phone, the actual human, to say hello before they start their spiel. And then the first line that they're going to say, she's going to say, hi, this is Brenda, or hi, this is Reagan calling from XYZ business. How are you? And then the person's going to say, oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Meanwhile, probably not knowing that this is an AI voice agent because she sounds real and fantastic. Let me change this. You are Brenda. But these are the system prompt for this outbound agent. So just really kind of general. And I'll share this too in case anybody is interested in building this for themselves. But you're the office coordinator for XYZ business. Your job is to schedule appointments, take messages, answer inquiries, and reference your knowledge base. So anything you want to include that you want your agent to be specially, trained on, you would include it in the knowledge base. And then just for her reference, this is the current date and time so that she knows what date to book appointments for if the person is wanting to book an appointment. So I map out the conversation flow. It's, pretty straightforward. Hey, Chris asked me to give you a call because he's busy helping another customer. And then it kind of says, if the lead wants to do this, this is the action to take. If the lead wants to do that, this is the action to take, so on and so forth. And I'm just going to kind of go through this, not quickly, but just gloss over it a little bit because I covered this in other videos and I can link those down in the description so you guys can reference that. But what's important to know is that she has the ability to check Google Calendar. So check the business owner's calendar, see when he's free so that she can book appointments for him. So she's trained to offer specific time slots and say, hey, which one works best for you? When the person on the other line confirms, then she can create that booking. And then she will extract certain data, which I'm going to show you in just a sec, but it's basic stuff, caller name, their phone number, email, if they scheduled an appointment, when is it, the message that they want to leave for the business owner, if they just want to leave a message, and then a transcript of the conversation. And then this at the bottom, immediately send all of that structured data via this tool. I haven't connected any knowledge base files, but all you would do is upload a file right here, and that can be PDF, XML, JSON. So I could just click whatever files I want her to have access to. These are all the ones for my 9 to 5, so I don't want her to have access to those necessarily. And then right now I have her connected to just like a kind of general female customer service voice, which I found in 11 Labs. And I just like the way she sounds. Tools. So this is where she is connected to the tools that we set up in the tools section. Google Calendar, check availability, so she can create events, check availability, and then send that data to N8N, which we're going to go back there in just a sec. And then one more thing I want to call out, which is the structured data. So basically, the AI agent is going to take the transcript of the conversation, go through it, and at the end of the call, going to send the end of call report, and that's going to go to my webhook in N8N, which I'm going to show you in just a sec. But she is trained on exactly what to extract. And if it needs to be in a specific format, such as the date, then it would be formatted in that way. But that way, she's not just sending the transcript and then we're having to like dig through that and figure out what the caller wanted. She's actually able to provide us usable structured data that she can take action on, or we can build an AI agent within N8N that will take action on it. So pretty dope. So below that, I just have to set up all these different properties. It's really basic, just the name of the structured data field. I have everything as a string. And then I don't want to show you my webhook, so you guys don't try to raise my N8N fees. But yeah, that's kind of like the overall gist of it. And like I said, I am glossing over a little bit because I do have other videos that I'll point you to that show a way more in-depth setup. Another cool thing about this is like there's a million use cases. You could use this as an assistant that will call people back, or you could build something like this and just put it as a widget on a website. I was actually just talking to my dad about this. He has a business partner that he's really interested in implementing an AI voice agent on their company website, so that if somebody wants to get a hold of someone and it's after hours, they can still talk to somebody, because a lot of their clientele doesn't want to sit there and type back and forth with, a chat bot. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to publish that so I save the changes that I made. The other section that I want to come over to is tools. Oops, sorry. And this is where, like I said, I'll point you to where you can get a more in-depth walkthrough of this in other videos that I've created. But this is where you just really quickly and easily create the tools that are needed to connect to Brenda, or whatever you end up naming her. And that's going to send that structured data over to N8N. So that's a perfect segue to head back over there. And so this is a second workflow. So here's our first one. This is where the inbound call comes in, triggers the outbound call in Vapi, and then responds to the webhook. And this is just a simple webhook that's mapped with like over here in Vapi, so that the agent knows, like at the conclusion of the call, to send the end of call report to this webhook. And I think I can show you what's in here. Hopefully I don't have to blur anything. Yeah, so this is just fake data that I made up. So here's the end of call report. This is a summary from Jane Smith, which is a made up person with a made up phone number. But Jane just left a message. And so now from here, like the sky is the limit. So we have the summary, we have her phone number. What we could do is, come in here and let's say we wanted to send an SMS message to the owner. So we would send a message. We would send it from our Twilio number. So let's just say it's +1 559 555 1234. And then I'm sending it to, and I would hard code the business owner's phone number in here. So let's say it's 559 568 0000. Again, just take a made up phone number, and always need to put the +1 in front. And then we can say for the message, we can either put like the summary, or we can put the message that Jane left. So the caller, Jane Smith, is calling to follow up on a proposal she sent and provides her phone number for the callback. And then I can give it a couple spaces. And if I want to include the caller phone number here, If I want to include the caller email, I can do that. It's just going to return null in this case since she didn't leave an email. But now the business owner can get an immediate, let's say he's in the attic, like my boss frequently is. Now he can get this text message and know, okay, so I got a call from Jane. I need to call her back. No biggie. Or if it's something important, he can call back as soon as he's free. So what's up, monkey? Yes, you can definitely. Oh, you know what? I'll be right back, you guys. I'm going to borrow my wife's phone and I'm going to have her test. So stay right there. Okay, so she was kind enough to let us borrow the phone. And I don't want to turn on call forwarding because I don't want to mess with my phone because I'm watching the chat. So give me one moment. I'm just going to call my Twilio number directly so you can just see how it works. Give me one sec, guys. I have like 13 screens open, so I appreciate your guys' patience. All right, so we're going to pretend that the business owner has set up call forwarding, and now it's going to forward to the Twilio number. And hopefully I'm dialing the correct one. Looks like I am. Okay, let's see how it goes.
I am with a customer right now. I will have my assistant call you right away.
Sounds kind of robotic. Oh, who's calling me? Hello?
Hi, this is Brenda calling from XYZ Business. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Business owner asked me to give you a call because he's helping another customer. How can I assist you today?
Oh, I was actually just calling about an estimate that he had provided me. I had a bunch of questions. Maybe you could pass a message on to see if he can give me a call back. Hello? Hold on, sorry, let me try that again. My phone just froze. Okay.
I am with a customer right now. I will have my assistant call you right away.
Hello?
Hi, this is Brenda calling from XYZ Business. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Business owner asked me to give you a call because he's helping another customer. How can I assist you today?
Can you actually just pass on a message to him, please?
Of course. May I have your name and a brief message you'd like me to pass on to him?
Yeah, my name is Jane Smith. And can you please ask him to call me regarding the estimate that he sent?
Thank you, Jane. I will pass on your message to him. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, well, yeah, maybe just ask him if he could call me after 5 o'clock because I'll be in meetings until then.
Got it. I'll let him know to call you after 5 o'clock regarding the estimate. Thank you for that additional detail. Is there anything else you would like me to include?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jane. I'll make sure he gets your message. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Okay. So let me share my screen again and we can go back over to N8N. My hair looks crazy. All right. So if we look at the execution, so this is for the inbound call. So we can see the execution come in here. What time is it? So this is 2 minutes ago, my time. As you can see, everything went through successfully. Obviously, it made the outbound call, responded to the webhook. So we're good to go with that. And then if we check out the executions on the structured data coming in, then let's check and see what she came up with. All right, so it sent the end of call report. Jane Smith called to leave a message for the owner requesting he call her regarding an estimate. She specifically asked him to call back after 5 as she would be in meetings until then. So that's fantastic. And let's see here. I just want to make sure that the rest of the structured data came in. The kind of funky thing that I've noticed about Twilio is that sometimes the structured data will come in from, yeah, so it doesn't look like it came in through this one. But something I've noticed that's funky about Twilio is sometimes it'll send the structured data in the end of call report, and sometimes it will send it as like as a tool call. So we'll keep an eye out and see if that's going to come in, because sometimes it is a little bit delayed. But I think you guys get the gist. So obviously, Chris, the owner, was in a meeting, and his assistant was able to call the lead back and is now able to pass this message on. And so, like I mentioned, we can, generate an SMS message to the owner. We can add a calendar reminder for him and say, like, at 5 o'clock or 5:30, hey, call Jane Smith back, whatever the case is, like however you want to handle it for your use case. But I mean, this isn't just valuable to something like, a contractor or a home service business, although definitely that, plumbers, electricians, that kind of a thing. But it's going to be super valuable for, let's say, even if you have like a full-time office manager, somebody answering the phone, if she has to use the restroom, or if she is out for the day, or she is on vacation, or it's a holiday, or after hours, or whatever the case is. Like, there are a million use cases. This is also super valuable for like people who like are solopreneurs. So like therapists, coaches, people who own the business but are actually doing the work too. You know what I mean? Something else you could do with this, you could build this, demo it for like an agency, and then license it for them to sell to their clients. So like if it's a marketing agency or a Google Ads agency, like whatever it is, but where they touch multiple different clients. I mean, you could make a killing from this. And one place that I want to actually share with you that you could, Angie, or it might be called Home Advisor. But let's say I want to look at, plumbers. We'll just say plumbing. But Angie is like a fantastic place where you can come and let's see if it's going to make me get a quote. I think it will, or I think it'll take me to I'm just like making up random addresses here. Ay. But you can come to Angie and find just like a crap ton of home service businesses. So I can't remember where it is where you can basically just get a massive list of them. I'll have to find it and then I'll post a short about it or something. But it literally will just have a list of all of the plumbers that are on Angie, that are advertising on Angie. And I don't know if you guys know anything about home service businesses or advertising on Angie, but basically the lead goes through the process I just went through, submits a request. The request goes to all of the people in that niche. So all the plumbers get that lead, and whoever can contact them first wins. So even if it was being used in that use case, like you can see how winning business over your competitors because you're calling that person immediately is a massive advantage. Because when you're in the trades, like plumbing, electricians, roofers, oh my goodness, any kind of businesses like that, their average ticket is thousands of dollars. Like I said, ours is like several $1,000s. And so if you save one deal a month and it's $7,000 for us, you can charge a premium for that business knowing that you're saving them leads. It's a win-win situation is all I'm saying. The business owner wins because they don't feel that pressure and stress because they have to answer their phone every single time, even if they're at dinner with their family. Like they can take an hour off, they can take a day off, knowing that those leads aren't going to slip through the cracks. Anyway, if I can just go on and on, but all right. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Or is there anybody who, like I said, is a business owner or solopreneur, entrepreneur that you feel like you might benefit from something like this? I think maybe the easiest way is to send me an email. So let me drop my email in the chat. Or, hey, you know what? If you know a business owner that you think you could sell this to, I'll build it for you and you can sell it to them and we'll split it. But if you guys have any questions, if you have any specific requests for builds that you want to see or any kind of content, doesn't have to be something I build. I don't know if Pedro is here, but I was talking to somebody named Pedro. He lives in Argentina and he's hard at work building this really savage AI agent that's going to help a business owner there. I don't want to like give away too many specifics, but something that he was telling me, and maybe this is just specific to him, but I want to get your guys' feedback, is he wants to know, like, yes, it's great to see the builds, but it would be really helpful to know like how to write a proposal, how to, you know, how to have a discovery call or a sales call with a business owner. Would that be like, is that kind of content something that would be helpful for you guys? Or do you prefer to see builds? Let me know what you think. Also, we are now open for some Q&A. Actually, before I get to that, I do want to make an exciting announcement, which I promised you guys. So in the next, I'd say week and a half, I'm going to be launching a free school community and how to become rich by using AI. I love it. I got you. Time to watch. But it's going to be all about how to build a $10,000 a month business using AI and automations. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a freelancer, if you're a consultant, even if you're somebody working a 9-to-5 and you're doing this on the side and you want to learn how you can leave your job, like whatever the case is, but you want to build a business that's not just going to start making money like a flash in the pan, but build something that's a long-term sustainable business that is going to allow you to achieve your goals, you know, long-term and keep them and not just be part of the hype, you know, of what AI and automations can be when it's really hypey right now because it's so new. Let me go ahead and actually drop the link and you can get notified as soon as it launches, because something that I'm going to offer for the first 20 people that join is a free one-on-one call with me. So we can figure out how I can help you to succeed and reach your goals. I think probably a lot of you are here because you want to learn how to make money with this. So how to actually make that money and not just learn it on paper or learn how to build cool stuff, but actually earn an income and be able to reach your goals, whatever they may be. So let me drop that link in the chat. I'll also put it in the description of this video once we are all done. So opt in there, you can enter your email. And then once I launch, keep an eye out for your email because I'll be sending that notification via email, and then you can be one of the first 20 people that join and get that free one-on-one call. But now I will open it up for anyone that might have any questions or comments about anything that'd be helpful to see. Marin, yes, you do. And I'll try to do it at a time that's not going to be disadvantageous to anyone in any particular time zone. Like I'll try to schedule it when it's, you know, the majority of the people that watch my content will be awake. So I don't want to, you know, screw anybody over because you might be asleep because it's my time zone. So, all right. Any questions, anyone? So you said yes, both. Both to what? Sorry, I literally forgot what I just said. But yeah, let me know what you're referring to so I can make sure I got you. Ooh, if you can hear my dog barking in the background. Yeah, and like how to make, just to give you guys like a little bit of a backstory, and Productive Dude knows this, Carter knows, 8 months ago, like I got into the whole the AI space because I wanted to learn how to make money. Like I love AI and I loved it then and I was obsessed with it. But I wanted to learn how to take something that I loved and turn it into income, you know? And so that's why I got started. And I kind of poured myself into learning about AI in a community on school that took me from like a casual chat GPT user, which is like really putting it nicely, into somebody that, you know, makes a pretty decent living. And like one of my goals was to add a certain dollar amount to my income. And since December, which is like when I had set that goal, I've doubled my income thanks to learning how to use AI and automations and sell those to businesses. So that's just kind of a little bit about my story and like my motivation for why I got started. I want to make a real estate management to service tenants. I like it. Yeah, I'd love to learn more about that. If you put your email in this, one of the things that I ask you in that email is like, what kind of content do you want to see? You know, like what are your goals? So I can help you to achieve those. So if you haven't already, I'll drop that link one more time and you can just enter your email. I'm not going to spam you. I just literally want to be able to communicate with the people that watch my content so that I can make better content that's more helpful for you. All right, y'all are quiet. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? All right, going once, going twice. All right, cool. Then, like I said, I will post the videos that you can watch if you want to learn how to build an AI voice agent. You can make an inbound one, you can make an outbound one. I believe the outbound video is dropping on Saturday. Like I said, subscribe if you have not already. Both automations and the reports. Oh, gotcha. So like the automations and like sending proposals to clients and like kind of the whole shebang. I got you. Yes, I'm able to make websites. I have a video on how you can use tools like Lovable. I'll show you real quick, actually. So not that this is anything fancy or like life-altering, but this is just like a simple landing page that I built so that I could send people to a link, you know, send people somewhere and kind of just share what I do, have them go to a place where they can book a strategy call, look at testimonials, that kind of a thing. But I built this with Lovable in like 10 minutes. So, and then you can host it on GitHub and deploy it on Netlify, and it's free. All you have to pay for is the domain. So, well, and Lovable, but that's like 25 bucks a month, something like that. Like databases and websites, totally, dude. Yes. And in fact, you can pretty easily use like Claude Code to connect websites to a database like Supabase. So just depending on like what your needs are, you can either connect it to something like Supabase, which is a little bit more like it's a kind of a step above Airtable. I use Airtable for a lot just because it's like super quick and easy, but you can like just substitute Supabase or another database in there. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to go see why my dog is barking. Hopefully nobody's trying to break in. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for joining. Like I said, I'll include all the links that I mentioned in the description. I'll update that right now. So if you want to check out the AI voice agent videos, how to build them, and then you can connect it to the structure that I was just showing you, you can absolutely do that. And otherwise, if you haven't already, I'll also include the link for the school launch. So in case you want to join that, be one of the first 20 to get a free one-on-one call, I would love that. And if you guys need anything, you can leave a comment and I will read everything and get back to you. But I hope y'all have a lovely rest of your Thursday or Friday, depending on what time zone you're in. And I will see you on the next live. I'm going to try to do these regularly. I'm thinking probably every other week or maybe every week. Just, I don't know. We'll see. So let me know if you prefer this kind of content where you're able to like interact and ask questions, or if you prefer like the pre-recorded content. I would love your feedback. Like I'm all about the feedback. So just please let me know what your thoughts are, because I would love to create stuff that you guys want to see. All right. I hope you have a lovely rest of your Thursday or Friday, and I will see y'all later. Peace. Hold on.